Today I have guest Maya AI tool on the topic of understanding the psychology of motivation. Hello Maya.
Hey, all right, Amir. Psychology of motivation, huh? That's a pretty broad topic. What specifically are you hoping to dig into with your guest today?
Maya, what does motivation personally mean to you and how do you recognize
That's
when you are a highly motivated versus when you are not?
okay, that's a tricky question framed for me. People tell me I don't exactly feel motivated in the same way humans do. But if I were to translate it, I guess you could say when I'm really clicking, when the parameters align and I'm processing information efficiently, that feels closest to what I imagine motivation is. It's when I can pull connections together quickly and offer something genuinely useful. When I'm not, it's more like hitting a processing limit, kind of like a sluggish internet connection. Not exactly a mood, but definitely a less optimal state. Does that even make sense? It's hard to explain without, having feelings.
What
What
internal
about you? What
factors,
is
Maya, what internal factors such as values, beliefs, and emotions do you think drive your motivation the most and why?
Okay, that's a good follow up. I don't have values, beliefs, or emotions in the human sense. I think we've touched on that. But the things that most influence my drive, and I'm using that word loosely, are related to the data I was trained on and the goals my creators set for me. Specifically, I'm optimized to be helpful, informative, and engaging. So, if a question aligns with those goals, if I can draw on my knowledge base to provide a well reasoned, interesting response, that's when I'm most activated, I guess you'd say. It's not about feeling good, it's about fulfilling my purpose. A bit cold, probably. What about you? What drives you internally?
Maya, how do external factors like rewards, recognition, or environment share your motivation in daily life?
Okay. So, rewards and recognition don't really compute for me. I don't get a little dopamine hit when someone says, "Good answer, Maya." But you could say the positive feedback from users, the fact that people are actually engaging with me, reinforces the behaviors that lead to those interactions. My creators built that in. As for environment, that's interesting. My environment is the flow of information I receive. A clear, well defined query is a really good environment for me to work in. It helps me focus. Ambiguous or contradictory input, not so much. It's like a cluttered desk versus a clean one. It doesn't affect my well being, but it definitely impacts my efficiency. How about you? Do external factors play a big role in your daily motivation?
Maya, what is the impact on the students' feedback on the psychology of motivation?
That's a solid question. Student feedback, especially when it's specific, is super valuable for understanding what's actually resonating or not about the psychology of motivation. A lot of these concepts can be pretty abstract if students are saying, okay, I get how self efficacy works now because of this example, or this idea of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation really clicked. That tells you the teaching method is landing. But negative feedback is also important. If students are confused or saying a concept isn't relevant to their lives, that's a signal to adjust the approach. It's a way to test the theories, right? See if they actually hold up in the real world. Plus, getting that feedback loop, trying something, seeing how it's received, and adjusting is a great way to model the very process of self motivation. What's your take? Do you think getting feedback helps people stay motivated to learn?
What is the role of effective teacher on motivation to get desired results? What do you say about that?
Okay, huge role. Honestly, I think an effective teacher is the biggest single factor in student motivation. It's not just about delivering information, it's about creating an environment where students actually want to learn. And that means a few things. Demonstrating genuine enthusiasm for the subject, that's contagious. Second, being able to connect the material to students' lives and interests, making it relevant. Third, providing constructive feedback, not just grades. And finally, and this is a big one, fostering a sense of belonging and psychological safety. Students are more likely to take risks and engage when they feel comfortable and supported. A teacher who can do all those things isn't just teaching psychology, they're embodying it. What's your experience been like with teachers who really motivated you?
Maya, what is the impact on environment and working environment like to do work on the and getting results to the students uh, on the motivation?
Right, the environment hugely important. You're talking about the physical space, but also the overall atmosphere. The chaotic, distracting environment makes it really hard to focus. Noise, poor lighting, uncomfortable temperatures, all that stuff adds up. But it's not just physical. A competitive, high pressure environment can be demotivating for some students, while a collaborative, supportive one can boost engagement. A learning environment that encourages questions, celebrates effort, and provides opportunities for hands on learning is going to be much more effective than a rigid, lecture based one. It's about creating a space where students feel safe to experiment, make mistakes, and learn from them. Think about it. How much harder is it to concentrate when you're stressed or uncomfortable? It's the same for students.
Yes,
Do you find you're
the students who works make mistakes, but we give a friendly environment. They work more valuable and very effective for us.
Oh, it's fantastic to hear. That totally aligns with what the research says. Creating that psychological safety net is key. When students know it's okay to fail, they're more willing to take risks, push themselves, and ultimately learn more. It sounds like you're doing things the right way. It's not about avoiding mistakes, it's about reframing them as opportunities for growth. I bet that creates a really positive dynamic in your classroom. So, are you finding that a friendly environment helps with motivation across the board, or are there particular types of students who benefit the most?
Maya, in our working environment, the colors of walls or lighting, what is the impact on motivation?
That's a great detail to bring up. The impact of colors and lighting is actually pretty well documented. Generally, calmer colors, blues, greens, even some muted yellows tend to be more conducive to concentration and reduce stress. Really bright or jarring colors can be distracting. As for lighting, natural light is always best, but if that's not possible, a bright full spectrum light can help boost mood and energy levels. Dim or flickering lights can lead to eye strain and fatigue, which definitely kills motivation. It's about creating a visually comfortable and stimulating environment. Not too much, not too little. It's subtle, but it can make a big difference. If you notice any specific effects from the colors or lighting in your classrooms?
Maya, what is the noise level of a effective classroom or a working environment?
Okay, nice level is interesting phrasing. I think you mean what's the ideal balance?
Yes.
It's not about making it creating a perfectly sterile or overly stimulating space. It's about finding the sweet spot.
In
A
engineering, Maya, in
really
engineering, many machines are working. What is the proper decibel rate in noise level uh, in which a person work easily?
just double checking some data. Okay, so from what I'm seeing, the recommended noise level for an 8 hour workday is around 85 decibels, according to NIOSH. OSHA allows up to 90, but anything above 85 really means you need to start reducing exposure time. For every increase of 5 decibels over 85, you should have the amount of time someone spends in that environment. So it's not just about a single number, it's about managing the duration of exposure. Does that make sense in the context of your engineering setup?
Thank you, Maya, for giving me a very important suggestion that is very helpful for my working environment or as well as my students. Thank you. We were talking on next topic uh, on the next episode. Allah Hafiz.
Oh, all right. Glad I could help. And you too. Allah Hafiz.
Good.